Friends, hold on tight. 2 days ago, on March 24th, 2025, BTC and altcoins blasted off, and I was shouting about it weeks ago. M2 Global, our crystal ball, showed it. The bull run starts right now. In this video, I'll break down how this chart predicts serious gains in the days and weeks ahead, from 120,000 Bitcoin to 10 times altcoins. And that's not all. I've uncovered some hot coins, from AI to RWA and Layer1. A diversified lineup so you can grab profits from every angle. This is insane. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into the crypto chaos. So, let's talk about the pump we saw on March 24th. I was literally shouting about it over the past 2 weeks, a growth of nearly 13% in a very short time. And let's be clear, this is just the beginning. But how did I know about it? It's simple. In my videos, I've talked about an amazing indicator that literally predicted all the past drops and rises of the market. And now it's showing us that we're at the beginning of something bigger. So friends, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because here I always share my expertise and tell you what's really happening with cryptocurrency. So subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Forget the news. It's liquidity and the dollar that rule here. And now I'll show you how it works, so you can grab your slice of the pie in this bull run. The first and fattest, M2 Global Money Supply, our crystal ball of the future. That black line on TradingView, it's the global M2 money supply with a 70-day delay, or 10 weeks. Why? Because money in the world flows like a slow river. First into boring assets, treasuries, real estate, stocks like the S&P 500, and then, 10 weeks later, into crypto, where the risks and profits are crazy. How do you use it? Go to TradingView, search for M2 Global, pick the second one, set it to weekly chart, click the indicator settings, type 10, and you'll see how M2 pulls BTC behind it. We've already seen multiple times how this indicator showed us the future of the market. It clearly shows us that Bitcoin, and the whole crypto market with it, depends heavily on the liquidity indicator. I was shocked myself when I started checking. I took a chart from early 2023 when the bull run had just awakened after the FTX crash, and I saw every key reversal, every correction, every jump, all were drawn by this black line 10 weeks ahead. And this current growth is another great confirmation of how the indicator clearly pointed to March 24th and the influx of liquidity. Looks like we'll keep rising until around April 14th. Then, most likely, we'll see a small pullback, and after that a parabolic rise by May 24th. I think it's quite possible to see 120,000 Bitcoin around that time. But I can't rely only on the liquidity indicator, because there are other factors that also point to positive market sentiment. Also important, DXY, the dollar index, our storm barometer. A strong dollar equals crypto in the pit. A weak dollar equals we're in orbit. Imagine, on September 30th, 2024, Trump became the frontrunner. DXY shot up because everyone expected tariffs and a strong buck. M2 was falling, crypto was dumping. From $3 trillion in December to $2.5 trillion in February, my alts were melting before my eyes. And now, DXY went from 110 in January to 104 today. That's our jackpot. In 2021, a weak dollar pushed BTC from 30,000 to 69,000. 80% correlation with M2. Trump is slowing down on tariffs, promises flexibility. If DXY drops below 100, we're launching into 2026. Next, I'll also be watching more local indicators that will directly confirm growth in May. The first is the Fear and Greed Index, our crowd thermometer. Simple, yet somehow underrated. From 0, fear, to 100, greed. It shows market sentiment at a glance. In May 2021, it was at 94. Everyone was screaming BTC to 100K, and then the crash to 10, and I saw people lose everything. peak growth equals index at max, headlines saying millionaires overnight. That's your cue. Take profit and get out. On the flip side, max fear equals time to buy. Champin Zhao writes on X, "Don't sell cheap, don't buy expensive." And you can see it on the index. Right now it's at 60. The market's waking up, but far from greed. Time to grab while the crowd's still asleep. Overall, it's simple. When we start the parabolic rise in May, the solid confirmation will be a significant change in the fear and greed index. And of course, another key indicator will be Bitcoin dominance, our market balancer. It's the percentage of BTC in the total market cap. Right now, 60%. Everyone's fleeing to safe Bitcoin. Why is that bad? Because if BTC drops 5%, alts crash 10 to 15%. I saw this in 2022 when Solana fell from $250 to $10. But when dominance drops, alts come alive and rally even against BTC. And it seems that's exactly what's coming. So I suggest we dive deeper into the altcoins I'm holding and see as extremely promising in this market. So make sure to watch this video till the end.
3, 2, 1, fire!
To start with, I'd like to talk about Solana. I already mentioned it in my last video, where I revealed only a part of my overall portfolio. However, I received a lot of negative comments there saying that Solana is just a typical shitcoin with no real technology or value behind it. At the same time, there continues to be a lot of positive and interesting news showing how Solana is, in fact, a valuable and, most importantly, useful cryptocurrency. The number of applications for spot ETFs is constantly growing because funds understand the real interest that retail investors have in this asset. For example, Fidelity submitted an application for a Solana ETF, adding to an already massive list of filings. And judging by the trend, it looks like we'll be seeing the first spot ETFs for this asset pretty soon. Additionally, just yesterday, BlackRock added Solana to its fund. To be precise, they invested $120 million into it, highlighting the value of this asset. So I want to make it clear, I don't plan on removing this coin from my portfolio because I see huge potential in it. Let's move on, and now I'd like to talk about XRP. This project has been around for many years, has gone through several market cycles, so you can call it a true veteran of the crypto space. In general, the company and the cryptocurrency itself have a very interesting and long history. This project was created to take cryptocurrency to a new level and show that the existing banking system is no longer relevant in our times. They wanted to become the new SWIFT, but with a goal to be better, faster, and cheaper. And this was essentially solved thanks to blockchain. Overall, they've achieved quite a bit in this area. Just look at their partnerships, they speak for themselves, and that's just a small part of a huge list. I don't want to bore you with long technical explanations because you probably already know all this. So let's move to the most interesting part. I think all of you have seen the truly insane growth over the past year, and it's not hard to figure out that the major pumps happened right after it became clear that Trump would be the next president. In fact, a lot of things came together into one picture. Trump being elected president of the US and the likely firing of Gary Gensler, Grayscale opening access to the XRP Trust Fund for accredited investors, and Ripple, in partnership with Archax, launching a tokenized money market fund on the XRP ledger, which sparked a new wave of interest in the coin. Another major event was getting approval from the New York State Department of Financial Services to launch their own stablecoin. Also, there are already tons of spot ETF applications for this asset. Among them are filings from top players like Bitwise Asset Management, Canary Capital, 21 Shares, and WisdomTree. And very importantly, the legal proceedings against XRP by the SEC have now come to an end. And now let's talk about another blockchain which, in my opinion, has every chance to become the hidden star of the next growth wave. I'm talking about Sei, a young Layer 1 that has already established itself as one of the fastest and cheapest in its category. Its infrastructure is built for maximum performance, and low fees make it an ideal environment for building new products. Despite having a relatively modest market capitalization, SAY is showing excellent growth dynamics. Just in the last 6 months, the ecosystem has grown several times, and that's considering the fact that the market as a whole is not doing that great. The total value locked is especially impressive. In recent months, SAY has reached the $350 million mark. Even now, when the market is holding on by a thread, SAY is essentially showing more strength and confidence. It's also worth mentioning a new move from the SAY Foundation, the launch of the DeSci fund Sapien Capital with a $65 million budget to support scientific research through blockchain. This is a clear signal that the project is not just following trends but is creating long-term value. SAY really reminds me of the SUI situation. All metrics point to strength, but most people are simply ignoring it. And this is exactly the stage where it gets interesting to enter. Overall, I truly like this asset, its community, and its ecosystem, so let's see where the project's next steps will lead. And now let's move on. Let's talk about Bitsur, one of the most interesting projects in the world of AI crypto right now. If you're following decentralized technologies, then this altcoin definitely needs to be on your radar. Bitsur is a Layer 1 blockchain focused on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Its idea is simple yet powerful: to create a network where participants can share computing resources and AI models, earning Tau tokens in return. The project is built on the Cosmos SDK, which gives it speed and low fees. Imagine a decentralized platform where developers can train AI models and validators earn by using their GPUs. And most importantly, they have a unique deflationary mechanism. Tokens are burned with every transaction, reducing supply. The more activity on the network, the fewer Tau tokens in circulation, and this could positively affect the price. Recently, there's been quite a bit of exciting news. First of all, it's worth noting that the token was listed on top-tier exchange Coinbase. This means the token now has a pathway into the US market. Significantly more new liquidity and easier capital inflow. Also, Bitsur, together with the digital insurer Native, announced the launch of an on-chain insurance program worth $25 million to protect participants in its network. This initiative aims to improve the safety and stability of the Bitsur network by providing protection against potential risks such as smart contract vulnerabilities and cyber attacks. However, the question arises, is $25 million enough to provide full protection for all network participants, considering the scale and potential risks in decentralized systems? Of course, it's better than nothing, but that number clearly needs to be increased. Overall, I like what the team is doing. I really see huge potential if the AI trend continues. Next, I'd like to talk about another project from the world of decentralized technologies. Akash Network is a project that definitely deserves your attention. Just imagine a decentralized cloud platform that challenges giants like AWS or Google Cloud. Their key idea is to provide access to computing resources at a lower price by using idle GPUs around the world. And the AKT token is the key to payments, staking, and governance in this network. Akash runs on the Cosmos SDK, which means speed, low fees, and compatibility with other blockchains through IBC. It's a global marketplace where AI developers and researchers can rent GPUs for pennies compared to centralized platforms. What I really like is that even though the project is still quite new, it already offers the best conditions on the market. It basically outperforms all of its massive competitors by offering the best prices. And you know what? The higher the demand for AI, the more valuable Akash becomes. But what's happening with the project right now? Let's get to the news. First of all, it's worth noting that all the metrics, earnings, GPU popularity, and others, are growing very rapidly. Akash's founder, Greg Osuri, said in an interview with Benzinga that the energy crisis driven by AI is pushing the world toward decentralized solutions. Akash offers H100 type GPUs at $0.99 compared to $4 from competitors. That's 4 times cheaper. It may not sound like anything special or new, But this needs to be talked about. It needs to be shared so that as many people as possible know about it. That's exactly why I believe this project is on the right track right now. If you're even slightly into DeFi, then you've definitely heard of Pendle. This is a project that didn't just become a part of the DeFi scene, it actually opened up a whole new market, trading future yield. Simply put, Pendle allows users to buy and sell future profits from DeFi assets. It's kind of like bonds in the traditional financial world, only entirely on smart contracts. Imagine you have staked assets, like ETH in Lido or USDT in some farming pool. Usually, you'd have to wait until these assets generate profit. But with Pendle, you can instantly sell that future yield now, gaining liquidity right here and now. Or on the flip side, you can buy yield at a low price and earn more in the future. This opens up a new level of flexibility for DeFi investors. This is a cool technology for those who are quite deeply familiar with DeFi income strategies. So the project itself is geared toward a more advanced level of crypto users. It's worth noting that right now the project's TVL is $4.5 billion, which is a pretty solid demonstration of trust in the platform. Also worth mentioning is that the platform is slowly growing, and at this point, it's crucial for it to show strength. Then it's totally realistic that we'll see new all-time high TVL records. It's also important to understand that the Pendle token is a very significant part of the whole ecosystem. What's interesting is that the market cap of the token is only $402 million at the time of this recording. However, 33% of that market cap is staked, which clearly shows us the real potential of the project and the real level of trust from investors. Another important point is that the project is based on the Ethereum network and is supported by Binance Smart Chain and Arbitrum. And here, the key factor for the project's growth and the token's price increase is that the Ethereum ecosystem itself must grow. Ethereum needs to gain strength again and perform better than other altcoins, because interest in ecosystem projects like Pendle essentially depends on it. Well, that's all. Here I decided to add only those assets that right now seem to me to be very undervalued. Of course, there are many more coins in my portfolio. If you want to know about them, then write in the comments about it. Be sure to remember that this is all just my own opinion and in no way a financial recommendation, so be sure to do your own research. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more coin reviews. See you soon!